Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode, a late episode of the Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of the Morning Glow. We got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, and I got to take all the blame. I overslept this morning, y'all. I overslept. I couldn't leave that pillow alone. I couldn't leave that pillow alone. So I'm gonna tell everybody that it's good to be here. Definitely good to be here with you all. Good to be here with you all this morning. I overslept this morning. I woke up and the sun was shining in my face. And when I saw that sun shining in my face, I said, "Uh oh." I said, "Uh oh." Now y'all know how I don't like starting late. You know how I don't like being here after the time. 7:15 probably the latest that we may start. But today it is almost 9 o'clock. It's almost 9 o'clock. So we're gonna stay here as long as we can today, and hopefully we're gonna have a great time, a great conversation. Waiting on everybody to come in. Waiting on everybody to come in with us, and we're gonna make it do what it do. We're gonna make it do what it do, and as people start to come in, I want to let you know that the phone lines are open: 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. The phone lines are open. We got a heck of a topic we're gonna talk about today, and it's in light of some of the things that I've seen over the last few years. Some of the things I've seen over the last few years, and we're gonna ask the question. We're gonna ask the question, and hopefully we're gonna get. And I wish some of our. I want everybody to call in. Y'all know I want everybody to call in, but I definitely want some of my Caucasian brothers and sisters or people that don't look exactly like us to call in as well. What we're talking about today is how disrespected is the black man in America? How disrespected is the black man? I want to talk about this with you all, and I want to hear your heart on it. I definitely want to hear your heart. How disrespected is the black man? 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Asking the question, how disrespected is the black man? How disrespected is he? Is it blatant? Let me see, I'm typing this in. Respected is okay, and the phone lines are open. So definitely give us a call. Definitely give us a call. I would love to hear from each and every one of you. And we got comments already. What's the comment say? Good God rising. Let me see. Grand rising. Rico, come on in, brother. I sent you the link, man. Rico hit me in the gut with a gut punch. Yeah, man. I overslept this morning, brother. I couldn't leave that pillow alone. Couldn't leave it alone this morning. But we're definitely here right now, man. And like I said, I definitely want to have this conversation. And it's a few things sparked it. And one thing, my Pittsburgh Steelers, y'all don't like me talking about my Pittsburgh Steelers, but I got to do it 10-0. Hold on, my 10-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just in case some of y'all didn't understand, some of y'all didn't know my 10-0 Pittsburgh Steelers. Anybody out there that don't like my Steelers or don't think my Steelers gonna do this or do that, y'all give me a call. We'll talk about that too. Give me a call. 678-381-1973. My undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, another one came. We conquered another one. Sent them home. Jacksonville. It was nice coming to your field. That's a nice little field y'all got there. That's a nice little field y'all got there in Jacksonville. In Duval. I'm gonna say it like y'all say it. Duval. Nice little field y'all got there. We came, we saw, we conquered. We sent a lot of y'all in the bed this morning. Y'all hurting because y'all try to play. Y'all, look, you can't send a little boy to play against a man. You can't send a little boy to play against a man. And y'all found out that last night during that game. Y'all found out. Look here, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. But my thing is this right here. Good game. I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate being able to have the opportunity to go there and beat y'all again. Again. Oh, hold on. We got some. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Glow. Welcome to the Morning Glow. This is Raheem. Who am I speaking to this morning?
Mr. Goddess, Lisa Walker.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Grand Rising. I'm doing just fine.
Good deal. Good deal. Listen, we asking a question this morning. We got Donald Tucson. He just joined us as well. We got Donald. Hold on 1 second. We know you're there. We got Bishop. Bishop is on the. There go Bishop. Y'all look at it. We got Bishop online with us this morning. The video side. Good morning, Bishop. Now I'm asking the question. God, I want to hear this from your heart. I want to hear this from your heart. And what we're talking about today is how disrespected is the black man? How disrespected is the black man here in America? And a couple of things that happen. One is Mike Tomlin, our football coach, our head football coach, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right now, this brother is this 10-0. This brother is 10-0, haven't lost a game all year. But yet and still, I looked at some of the commentary yesterday after the game, and they were talking about coaches like Belichick, who done lost about 4 or 5 games. They were talking about Belichick, how great of a coach he is. Now, he's lost 4 or 5 games. We haven't lost a game. And they was talking about him, how great of a coach he is, how he's doing this and he's doing that, and he's been doing it forever. Now, if you look at our season last year, we was playing third string, pretty much everything was playing third string backup players last year, and we still ended up 500. We still ended up 8-8, if I'm not mistaken. So we ended up 500 with a wash of a team. This year we're 10-0, haven't lost a game. We've lost a couple of players along the way, but have not lost a game. But yet and still, these commentators want to talk about the Belichicks that's lost 4 or 5 games. They want to talk about the Paytons that have lost 3 or 4 games. But they don't want to, when they talk about Coach Tomlin, they don't want to give him the proper credit that he deserves as a coach. They don't want to give him this man has taken that team and has not lost a game. Now, if that was Belichick and he was 10-0 right now, he'd be the talk of the town. He would be the talk of the town. Everybody will be praising him like he's the best thing since sliced bread. If that was similarly other coaches in the league that don't look like Tomlin, they will be praising him like he's the best thing since sliced bread. And now, not only that, now let's turn the page a little bit. Barack Obama, the first black president, the one that they say is the first black president of the United States of America. I think he didn't do everything that he was supposed to, or what we wanted him to do, because his hands were so tied. But at the same time, I think he did a great job. And now you got President Trump that's in office right now. Hopefully January he'll be out of there. But nobody want to get President Obama. I looked at Jimmy Kimmel the other night, and he went out on the street. He go out on the street and he said, he asked people a question. He said, what do you like better? Do you like Obamacare or the human, whatever they call the thing? Bishop might know the name of the new one. They changed the name from Obamacare to whatever they changed the name to, Human Health Act or whatever they call it. And everybody was saying they didn't like the Obama. They did not like the Obamacare, but they love the whatever they changed the name to. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They just changed the name. So, God, how disrespected is the black man?
The black man has always been disrespected throughout time. But the key word was they were men. And that's the key word. But the black men have always had to do 125 in order to even get any respect, if they got that much percent. So with that being said, when they congratulate the black man, I don't know why they feel like it lessens who they are.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing how they have to go through all that just to say, congratulations, you did this, you're the best, you're the first,
Exactly.
But I can't continue on. But I understand Pittsburgh is 10-0, but the Chiefs, you can't. I'm from Kansas City. I gotta say something. We still up there. I'm waiting for us to play. I don't even think we play until we got to the
playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
We won't meet each other until to the playoffs.
I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be a good one.
Look here, that's gonna be a heck of a game right there. I'm gonna tell you that's gonna be a heck of a game, but I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all ain't ready. We play. Look here, I'm gonna tell you something. The game that we play is so physical. I don't think y'all gonna be able to keep up. I mean, it'll be interesting the first half, maybe in the third quarter.
We got that Mahomes. And
I love
we got a black man on that team, and we're gonna make a difference here.
Hey,
so, I don't know.
It's gonna be an excellent game. I can't wait to see the game. It's gonna be an excellent game, one that I really look forward to. But I think that we just a little bit too physical for y'all. We hit too hard. For y'all.
Okay. All right, I hear you talking. That's all I like to say. I hear you talking. But back to the black men thing. And our black men have always been men. But now we're looking at the men. Now we don't have the respect for them. As women, we don't even have the respect for some of the men that's going around now with the skinny jeans.
Yeah.
The pants off their butt. Like, this is like disrespectful to our black kings. So let me separate that. Our black kings that are men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's being disrespectful to them, and the demeaning of black women makes it even harder. So uh, we're gonna just have to help change the tune here. Uh, so make sure that our Black kings out here that are making excellent examples of men and manhood and what it's about. We want to make sure they get all their praise.
Exactly. And see that's the thing right there, man. You know, we don't get a lot. We don't get a lot of hold on, before I even say, let me go to Donna Tucson. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm all right. Here you go again.
What I do, brother? What I do, man? I'm late this morning, man. I overslept, man, and Lord, my Jesus, boy, look here.
Early for tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Early for tomorrow.
But Donald, let me ask you the question, man. How disrespected is the Black man, Donald? You being a Black man here in America, how disrespected is the Black man?
As much as allowed. How about that?
Come on.
I don't care how you feel. See, first of all, you got to know who you are.
Yeah.
Where you come from, where you're trying to hit. You got to have more. You got to have a press. Because, you know, the first thing when you identify, anybody else identifies. The word, even the color or the word black, they think dark. They think dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's negative anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you do it, buddy.
Hey, we got a lot of background noise. Hey, God, is mute your line for me till we come back to you. We got a lot of background noise coming from your line there. Mute your line for me. There you go, Donald.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
And that was no reflection of the conversation. I was just saying, we can't make anybody respect. You have to let it happen in your own life. Because I'm not in a crowd. Because we put everybody in the same bucket. And they say they are like that, or they are really disrespected, or they need respect, one way or the other, because all Black men are not the same.
Okay.
Some of us are an embarrassment. Some of them have given up their role.
Yeah.
Their press, their strive, their kingship, like we are kings. Well, why are you acting like a peasant then? A king don't ask for anything. A king demands.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
Tell the truth.
So why are we begging? Why are we on the side of the road begging if we're kings and princesses? That don't make no sense. That's out of character. You don't the king don't ask nobody for nothing. He has that mentality. He has the mentality is what I desire or what I want. I'm going to get them to do it. You do this.
Yeah.
But we sitting around here begging folks and waiting for an opportunity for something to happen. That ain't okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Brave mentality. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Good deal. Good morning. Look here who we got here. Do we have Latoya with us? Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Morning, y'all. What's going on? Toy with T in the building. Hello.
Hey, doing good, man. We got a topic going on, and Cassandra, we got Miss Cassandra Green. I'm trying to let her listen to a little bit of the conversation because when I come to her, I know she's gonna knock it out the park. So Cassandra, hold on. We actually coming to you next. But right now, Toya, I want to ask you this question. We're talking about we spoke about this morning, Mike Tomlin, my head coach of my football Pittsburgh Steelers, and him not getting the respect, being 10-0. That Belichick and all the other coaches that don't look like him would get if they were 10-0 at this point in the season. He's not getting the respect. We talked about Barack Obama being the first Black president, him not getting the respect that he so rightfully deserved, and all the things that he done brought us out of when he came into office. It was in what they call a recession. And it was, the numbers was terrible, but he did everything. Then they talk about the Obamacare. They don't want to call it that. They call it something different. It's so many different things that's going on that that don't want that they don't want to recognize him for. So my question is this today, Toya: how disrespected is the black man here in America?
Wow, that's a deep topic, and to be honest, probably the most.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The unfortunate part, when I listen to the story of Jesus, it's self-explanatory. They don't normally do white folks like that.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
They normally hang folks of color, honey. So this that right there. I'm just like, wait a second. But I mean, I think that's kind of been the norm and the rhetoric, and not only that, I think this goes back to the beginning of time. I still feel like we're from the beginning of time, and because our ability to not want to listen to God. That is one of the reasons why, yes, not only black men, the black race is the most expected, but I think that once the black man recognizes in Christ who he is,
come on,
that it knocks out all those laws and ways of life that they feel against us and towards us. That's the only thing that can prevail to that. But no, all honesty, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has an issue with the black man. Every race is intimidated by the black man, but it's normally like that when you become what they say, the master. You know how the student always gets so good they want to get beside themselves. I think that's what we go through when we have these issues with other races with us, because initially I just feel like, when God created the world, he created the beginning. It wasn't no shade in the beginning. Nothing but heat and sand. You can't stay but so like. So I really feel like, in this season, this is the moment to where the black man is recognizing this. You're recognizing, wait a minute, I always had to be the best, but it is what it is. That's just the fight. But that's what comes with, being a king. You must be the best out of all to be the king. You must be the best to be able to beat everybody, be smarter than everybody, make sure you can maintain and manage everybody, because that's the responsibility of the king. You know what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right. But we're about to flip that around for you guys, man. Much respect to all the black men, man. For all the years it's contributed to everything that made you who you are today. It's going to put you in that position to take us where we need to go. So love to the black man, y'all.
Absolutely. Man, we got the sisters up in here today. Right now, I'm gonna go to Cassandra. Cassandra, I want to hear your heart, man. The preface that I put out there. So, how disrespected, Cassandra, would you say the black man here in America is? How disrespected is he?
I'd like to say to all of you niggers that I need you to understand that the niggers in Michigan, the niggers in Georgia, the niggers in Pennsylvania, y'all are ignorant, y'all can't count, and you do not matter in the United States of America. I just need all niggers to know that, because we are so stupid that we could not count, and you are pulling out black cities to say that you want their counts redone, but you have not done that to any of your Republicans. We are one of the most disrespected groups in this country, always have been, still is after all this time. And I really am asking God, what is it going to take to turn the mentality? And it has nothing to do with what we have or have not done. This is the oppressive and suppressive spirit that this country has had toward black people from the time they brought them over and vote ships from Africa. And I'm really upset right now at the way that this president especially is treating black cities. That means that you don't give a crap about black people and their vote, because you're only picking out black cities, large black populated cities, to do this mess in. And if we are so ignorant that we do not realize that, and it is an attack on all of us, not just on Detroit, not just on Pennsylvania, not just on, it's an attack on the entire black race, and we need to stand up and let our voices be heard. This is ridiculous.
Good deal.
This is downright ridiculous.
Leonard, good morning, Leonard. How you doing this morning, sir?
Good morning, Glowfest. How are you?
Hey, doing well, doing well. We're asking the question, man. How disrespected is the black man in America? How disrespected is he?
Well, I guess you could really hang on to that, and say, disrespect or whatever. But I don't go looking for respect. You're gonna respect me if I'm polka dot. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about other black men and how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
But all I do know is that if you run up on this brother, it's gonna be a different situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Because I'll take my respect from you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sitting around waiting for you to respect me. That's not my deal. I don't wake up every morning looking for respect. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
If you should cross my path, you should respect me. If not, there are consequences for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on the black man you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not going to say whatever you want to me and do whatever you want to me. Because we all know how I feel about that. Ain't nothing about me bowing down to nobody else's BS. I don't need all that extra or whatever other people need. I'm satisfied with me. So if you come up, that's that force I give you. If you don't want to respect me, we got a remedy for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk historically. Now let's talk historically. And again, like sometimes we personalize, but majority of the time I don't like to personalize it. So let's talk historically. Historically, how disrespected had the black man been here in America?
Well, it's racism. That's what it is. It's racism. It's not just respect.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. They're racist. Racists don't come with respect. Racism is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. No respect is built in there at all. It's not a question of respect. You can't be racist and be respectful at the same time with me.
Mm-hmm.
So racism is naturally evil. Now, you may have if another brother disrespects you, you don't call that racism. Mm-hmm. Black people disrespect one another all the time.
My point, right there.
It's not about color. It's not, we have racism is about color. Respect is about something else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, because one, you don't want to run against me. You don't want to fight me. So you have to use racism to get ahead. You have to use racism to get out in front of me because you're not better than me.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Racism is the tool you use to win because majority of the time you couldn't win without it.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing you do respect is I am able to overcome you.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have to be racist.
Exactly. Good deal. Let me go to, we got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, good morning. This is with the T.
Okay, we got two different callers. Let's go with the young lady first, and then so we'll come to you next. Young lady, what's your name?
Chandra with the T.
Hey, good deal. I'm glad you did that, because you know good and well I will butcher it in a minute. Cut it out now. Cut it out. But Chandra, let me ask you the question, sister. How disrespected is the black man here in America?
We all know that answer. As the gentleman said before, it was just so on point about us respecting one another. I think that we talk a lot about what's going on and the problems, and finding the solution. The solution, in my opinion, is that once we learn to respect one another. As a black woman, I came up in 5th grade. I started going to school, and at that point, I was the only black person in the entire school. And as they said before, I had to work harder. I had to be better. Everything I did, my eyes were always on me. There was a couple, disrespectful people here and there, but overall, it wasn't a bad situation. But I had to work harder. Now, as a mother, I go out with my beautiful daughter, and we're disrespected constantly. People are talking to my daughter like she's trash, and they don't care that I'm her mother. There are times where I'm like, listen, I'm her mother. You're speaking to my daughter. This is my child. And I even had one of the boys say, oh, you can get some too. So I'm saying that all to say that we don't have respect for one another. the relationship, not all Black men, because there are plenty of good Black men in this world. And and it's apparent from, family members, friends, businesses, you see it in celebrities. So there are good Black men out here. But there are some situations where we don't respect our women. We don't respect our children. We don't respect one another. So it's really hard to get somebody else to respect us, another culture or another race to respect us, when we don't have that overall relationship with ourselves. I did collaborative finance for quite some time, and I had to work with groups of people working together to collaborate money. And when I tell you that when I'm working with different cultures that understand money, that understand how things go, I didn't have to put up with all the craziness that I put up with my own people. We didn't trust one another. Everybody's always trying to get over it. It was just bananas. So my story is, listen, we learn to trust, we learn to respect one another. We learn to work together. We learn to collaborate. The other day we talked about businesses, and Adrian and I spoke after the call. And I was saying to him, like, imagine how the strength we would build as Black-owned businesses if we took 10% of our income and we invested that 10% into a nonprofit in our own communities and build up our own communities. Write that off at the end of the year. How many of us actually do that and are giving back in that manner to build up ours? Invest 10% in another business, another Black business that's just getting started up. So I believe, again, once we start respecting ourselves as a community, then maybe we can go into demanding respect as a race. So.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I love that. I love that. Adrian, good morning. I heard you this morning. How you doing this morning, sir?
I'm very blessed this morning, everyone. How are y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, brother. How disrespected is the Black man in America?
I feel like over time, because there are many cultures that have envied the Black strength and the Black power and the Black mind. And when you, as Leonard was saying a second ago, when you envy somebody, or when you don't understand their natural peace, their natural happiness, their natural ability to do things, instead of coming to someone in a loving way or a peaceful way, you come at them in a hateful way, which triggers that racism. You come at them with one of those elitist, survival of the fittest mentalities that I'm better than you and I'm held as a god and you are to worship me. Or I give you the scraps off of my table because I'm eating the best cut of steak, for example. And over time, the last 400, 500, 600 years or so, that we as dark-skinned humans have been brought to this continent. And as we begin to flourish, it's been very sad, the type of hierarchy and the type of leadership that we have been under, not only with people of the other races and other skin tones or hair textures or tones, but even of our own, because there's many people that don't know this, that was, rulers over in Africa that would sell Black people to white people, to Europeans, to come over here and build this new world. And then when the new world got here, like I said, people want to do what's called self-preservation, whether you're white, Black, or any other color. They just happen to run this country and this nation on the necks of people that they were able to brainwash, because the ideals were different. The European ideals were different than the African ideals and the way we did things in the Polynesians and Asians. So the disrespect here in America has been prevalent. It has been, they sometimes in different communities here in America, they dangle situations in front of the Black community like a carrot being dangled in front of a mule, okay? And they set us up, but we have to learn how to live above that. And you have to learn how to do like Jesus said, I've overcome the world. Leonard said it a minute ago. We recognize that it's ignorant people out here. We recognize that it's racism out here. We recognize, like I said, the university down there in Georgia, and I had people drawing swastikas and the N-word and other radical KKK on my desk. I was the only student in a room of about 140 guys. I was the only Black guy in there trying to get an engineering degree, minding my own business. I always sat in the same spot. I come in one day, there was swastikas and stuff on my desk. And I looked at it, and this was just a few years ago. And I laughed because of people's deep-rooted hate. You envy me so much that you begin to hate me? Why not envy me to love me, and we can all walk as gods together? The same air that you breathe, I breathe. The same blood that you have, I have. The same water that you drink, I drink. And the same God that created us all can take our soul.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the disrespect here in America, yes, it's very prevalent. And racism, not only is it crack, me and my mom was talking about this the other day, not only is it cracking a leash and a whip, it's in many different forms.
Mm-hmm.
Many different forms.
Absolutely.
And you have to have your eyes open.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be wise to what you think is gold. Everything that glitters ain't gold, it's pyrite. Everything you should think you should jump on top of, trying to chase the mighty dollar, the capitalism of America. That's the reason why slaves was brought here and this disrespect is going on. Well, because of the love of the dollar and capitalism, greed and gold right down here on this earth.
Yeah.
So it's here. It's here. We just you have to live your life. And like Leonard said, and I got to full-heartedly agree with him across the board. You have to live your life, know who you are, and don't let nobody disrespect you. Address that disrespect accordingly. Address them in their ignorance. And you don't have to be violent. You don't have to be cursing and this and this. You call me the N-word, so you a honky, you a crack or something. You don't have to do all of this.
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all. You be the best you can be.
Exactly.
Because the devil gonna be the devil regardless.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good.
Simple.
Let me keep this thing going. We got another caller. I think it's Rico. Rico, you with us?
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you, sir. We're asking the question, Rico, how disrespected is the black man in America? How disrespected is he?
There's so many different levels to it. I mean, that's that question right there, man. You could go into different levels of it. Some of it is minor, some of it is major. Some of it is so disrespectful to the point to where it's blasted all over TV, on the media, in the news and clips, over and over and over again. And some of it is just, subliminal, subconscious. I'm not gonna say subliminal. It's hidden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not so overt. Because you have some races that are cowards, so they just ain't gonna come all the way out and say what they want to say and do what they want to do, impose their will. But then you have some that are blatant. They ain't scared. They want you to know. You got the Charlottesville types that'll just crank up the charters and run everybody over in broad daylight. You got your Dylan Roos. So I mean, we are disrespected in so many different levels that it's obvious. The thing is like, I think I just got on just hearing everybody saying that you have to know who you are. But we also do have to understand that some people are gonna lose their cool. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have to call this show to get therapy in the morning sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes, man, you get in a situation where all that go out the door and your survival instincts kick in. And sometimes it ain't survival instincts, but it's just the domino effect that that if you handle this too kindly, this man gonna laugh it off and look at you as a coward, and he's gonna take another step forward until you show him. So I mean, it's I do understand that when we speaking from the point of view of where we are not in an actual situation, we can say, well, okay, this is the way we should handle this. But man, I'm gonna tell you something. In the heat of the moment,
come on.
In the heat of the moment, that's when you really have to sit back and think about that. And a lot of this stuff, like what we saying on the show, that they gonna go out the window. The only thing you're gonna see is that person. Like me, I'm gonna tell you what used to happen to me. The minute I heard somebody say or do something racist, I used to flash back to Emmett Till's face after the drama. Because I felt like if I let them take an inch, they'll take a mile, and sooner or later they'll get comfortable. And that's what they'll do to me or my son.
Come on.
So after a while of putting that image in my head, sometimes I would fly off the deep end immediately at the sign of racism or disrespect from me. You might say this or that with somebody else, but guess what? You better have on a bulletproof vest. And that ain't gonna help you because I'm coming at your head. I'm gone. I'm mad. The only thing I'm seeing is Emmett Till. And I'm pretty sure some of the things you just said to me, that I'm supposed to be the bigger person that walked past, was the same thing they said to him before they did him the way they did.
Yeah.
So when you're in the heat of the moment, you know what I'm saying, it's real easy to fly off the handle. You know what I'm saying? We have to be actually prepared that this these situations may come across us. And that's where the problem comes in. Is that some people walk around here naive, not realizing they can experience that situation if they ain't careful or their surroundings.
Exactly. Man, look at this. This conversation is getting real deep, man. We got a couple, quite a few callers that's on the line. I want to touch everybody. Toy you with a T. I see you over there. You shaking your head. You nod. I know you got a lot on your heart, sister. I'm coming to you as soon as I can. Let me go to the phone line. I'll be right back to you. Right now, I think we have another caller. I think it's our brother Pete. Pete, are you with us?
Yes, sir. How you doing, my brother? How's the family doing?
Hey, doing good, man. Doing good, brother. I need to hear your heart on this one. How disrespected is the black man in America? What do you say to that?
Okay, first of all, you disrespected me by calling me black, but you know, I'm gonna go real deep.
Go real deep, brother. Pull the layers back.
The word hue man means color. Hue means color. So the hue man, the man of color, right? Who designated us as being black? Because I'm rightly brown, first of all. And when we start dealing in legal terms, black in law leads into being civility mortuus, which is being civilly dead. So first of all, you disrespecting me by calling me black, because I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Number two, as an ethnic race, we have been his systemic.
Go ahead, brother. I was
as a historic race, historically, I'm sorry, we have been extremely disrespected. But then we have to also understand that we have allowed and tolerated disrespect. You know, a crazy person is generally only going to act as crazy as you let. All right. So if you want to come with the disrespect, that disrespect is only going to go as far as I tolerate it. And at this point in today's time, 2020, we shouldn't tolerate disrespect, certainly along the lines of race at all. At all. I mean, coming to us with the history that we've encountered, there's no place on planet Earth or in the universe or in the outer world in the greater darkness for that type of foolishness.
Come on.
We should not tolerate it at all. But we have definitely been disrespected. We continue to be disrespected. This is taken for granted. I mean, our women, as historically in this society, have been the most unprotected, disrespected, abused, and neglected.
Come on, brother.
Group,
Tell the truth.
A group of people in this country. And even to this day, our women are right at the top of being neglected and abused and disrespected. So, and that's the female. And the black man is right second. And the black man actually gets a lot more disrespect. But I want to drop this to all those in the listening audience, and especially the brothers. I tell this to us all the time. We have allowed ourselves to be punked in this society. We have allowed ourselves to be dominated in this society. We have refused to stand up and take our rightful place as living beings on this planet and execute from a manly standpoint our manliness and orchestrate excellence. We let all outside influences deter us from just being simple flesh and blood beings and existing on this planet and having a right to exist on this planet and to maximize our intellectual properties and our abilities to have ownership, to create and manufacture, produce, live, enjoy, and do without any outside influence or preference of anybody else. Who are you? And who cares what your thought is? Who are you? What gives you the right to come over here and interject? What are you doing? What I'm doing? What are you thinking? What I'm thinking? Why you here? Because I'm here.
Come on.
Why your skin so dark? Because that's how God created it. Come on now.
Do it, bro.
Why am I even playing games with you on this nonsense? So at this point, we shouldn't tolerate it. But have we been disrespected? Yes, sir. That's why they say, why are you so angry? You don't hear anger in my voice. You hear fervency. You hear determination. You hear clarity. And what you really hate is you hear the truth.
Come on.
Because like I said, when you talking about us, you talking about humans. You talking about the ethnic group of color. And if we are the real true humans, then I'd like to know who and what is mankind.
Come on.
Or what is a kind of man? Come on now.
Exactly.
The Bible says the devil come to steal, kill, and to destroy. Don't get me started on who fulfilled the definition of being the devil.
Boy, look at we about to pull some layers back today. I was ready to go to Toya with a T, and she done disappeared on me. Toya with a T, where you at? Toya with the T, where you at? Before I go back to Toya, I want to go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra, you there? Let me see. Did we lose Cassandra? Oh, Cassandra got a phone. Cassandra having a battle with.
I'm here.
Oh, there you go. I thought you was having a battle with that mute button. What's on your heart, sis?
Okay, so your question was how disrespected is the black man in America, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I understand that we have our own issues within our community, but to me, that does not even touch the way that we are treated by other people in this country. It doesn't even touch it. And just because a black person disrespects another black person does not mean that gives a white person the right to disrespect me. And if a black man never respect me, you gonna respect me, or we gonna have problems. We're gonna have an issue. We're talking about a systemic problem in this country with being treated less than because of the color of our skin. And I'm like the brother. Y'all know I'm very passionate about what I say. So yeah, you know what? Sometimes I am an angry black woman because of the crap that they do to us on a daily basis, and especially what's happening right now around this country, trying to disenfranchise black people when it comes to voting and suppressing our vote and oppressing our vote the way you did in the 60s in 2020. You got to help me with that. And if any black human, whatever you want to call yourself on this line, is not pissed off at the way that we are being treated right now with this election thing, you need to check yourself. And ain't nothing wrong with me, because I know exactly. I see what's happening to us. You need to check your own self, because this is a serious problem we got right now. You're saying that we don't count. Our vote does not count. Because you write and you say so, and we're living in these different cities that are majority black. Atlanta, Detroit, Philadelphia. What the heck? We should be highly upset and doing something.
Exactly. Let me go to her. She over there rocking back and forth. Boy, she is ready to go in. Unmute your line. I'm coming to her right now. Toy you with the tea. Talk to me.
Listen. Everything that everybody is saying is right, okay? But it's just like anything else. We got to at first acknowledge the problem before we can attempt to fix it. You understand what I'm saying? We got a lot of different points of views, a lot of different ways that we see things. Some of us have lived such a perfect life in brown skin, you can't identify with some of the things that some people are going through. But it doesn't take away the fact that it's still someone's reality. And if you're not experiencing that, we need to be working to make sure that that's not someone's reality. Because anytime we neglect each other, it's gonna be an open door for a human. This is what we need to get right. Old boy is right. Black is about color, or without void. Human is about color.
Yeah.
But for a human to see another human disrespect another human is going to cause the problem. That's why in Christianity, it's important that you walk with a walk of Christ-like walking, because it's going to make a human act a certain kind of way. So we can't deflect the fact that I'm a brown human. We all human. I'm a brown human. I identify more with brown humans, and I'm around brown humans. So it's not about color, but just because that's how we are identified by each other in groups. I'm a brown human girl. So I don't hang with other humans that's normally guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just a difference. And because we're different, an orange is an orange, an apple is an apple. It is what it is. And because we brown apples over here, we getting the worst treatment. We getting neglected. And we got to acknowledge that humans that run this world have to acknowledge that on a whole. And even if they don't, it's up to us brown humans that know this is our reality to stand up. And like somebody said earlier, make that change. put us in a position to take disrespect back. We wouldn't be disrespected by people that been disrespected us if we stop going into their rhetoric. Let's break away from Ike, Tina. That's what this is. We know they've been abusive. We know that this has always been our reality. Stop trying to negotiate with Ike because he wants you to eat the cake. If you don't want no cake, go get you somebody else. And that's what we need to do. It's time to break off and form our own a civilization with our own rules of respect. And we need to stand by that and not allow any other race to deflect that.
Exactly. That's good. That's good. Goddess, talk to me, and then we're going to Tandra with the T after that. Goddess, what's on your heart? Goddess, you there? Think she having a problem with that?
Yes, I'm here.
I thought you was having a.
I had it muted.
Okay, what's on your heart?
Peter Brown said a whole lot. A lot of people don't understand the melanated mind. You cannot know thyself unless you know melon. And a lot of people never have studied who they actually are. They've been told who they was. They ran with it. They've been given their own religion, somebody else's religion. They ran with it. The whole time. So our black men really don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. So it's kind of hard. And when you don't know thyself unless you know melon, if you allow Caucasians that are intellectuals to experts to persuade you that your melon is useless and it's nothing, you eventually will fall into a sunken place of hopelessness, powerlessness, disconnectedness. Your blackness literally is your power. That's why you need to know who you are. And we keep forgetting that we are humans. They are not. They are Neanderthals. And if you ever did look into the Bible, it states that that's a separation. That's why we are God's chosen people. And see, until we start learning exactly who we are, Christianity spanked into us, whipped into us, beat into us. And we still running with it. I'm not against God, but we got to know the truth about it and where it came from. In order for us to start knowing who we are, we got to start knowing who we are and where we came from. Because we are gods. We are goddesses. We are the creator. They didn't bring us over here. We were already here. That's what a lot of people keep forgetting. You just start studying your history. Like y'all study the Bible, start studying your history. That's one of the key things. That's what gets me passionate, because of the fact that if we start learning who we are, we're starting to gain what they're trying to tell us. And they can't do nothing but see the power of who we are, and then they start reaching into us. Like all these, back in the day, everything, the light bulb, the filament of the light bulb was done by a black man, but they want to say Thomas Edison did it. But at the time, he was a slave. He didn't have the power, but he had the knowledge. And if we continue to band together as a unit and start teaching and preaching our youth about melon and who they are, then they continue to grow. Then they'll start pulling up their pants. Then they'll start respecting the black woman, because then they'll follow after our kings. We can teach our preachers to start looking into the actual death of melon or where we come from.
Good deal.
That's why they still experiment on us today, here today. It's because of the melon. If you look it up, every time we talk, I always bring it back to melon. But every time we talk, that melon is higher than gold. And we don't know who we are. We don't know. A lot of people don't know that they're the kings, the queens. I ain't even gonna say kings because kings they died too soon. We're the gods and the goddesses due to that melon.
Good deal. Good deal.
It's the most powerful thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Since you're going somewhere, definitely appreciate that. Tandra, what's going on with you? What's on your heart?
This was a heated call. My heart beating fast. I'm sweating over here. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But our brother Pete came and dropped the mic. He nailed the coffin shut in what he was saying, in my opinion. One of the things that Toya with the P said that was really real was, you know, we all have different experiences in my ideal with racism, you know, or how, you know, what each person's experience with racism is. Like I said before, you know, I'm from Baltimore City, in the city. But when I was 8 years old, we moved out to the county. We were moving on up, and we went to a white neighborhood, whereas though I was the only African American there. So my experience was a little different. I'm 50 years old now. So back then, that was a good while back. I've experienced the KKK outside of the school, at the store, when we're getting out of school. You know, I've experienced a lot of those things. But in all honesty, and somebody might want to fight me after I say this when I get off the phone, but you don't know where I'm at, so it's all good. But listen, my Black race has never stopped me from accomplishing anything I wanted to, or my Black skin, my beautiful, dark, beautiful Black skin has never stopped me from accomplishing anything I wanted to accomplish. And my 2 Black sons have never, they dealt with some things, we dealt with some things with the police, but it never stopped them from moving forward and doing the things that they needed to do. I think that we have to take personal responsibilities for ourselves and respect ourselves. And just not to disagree with you, Miss Cassandra, but before anybody in any other race is going to respect us, my Black brother needs to respect me first. My Black sister needs to respect me first, because those are the ones that ultimately I care about if they are in my immediate circle. So the white man that's on the outside that I don't have to run across, I can't control necessarily how they feel, what they think about me as a culture. I'm not even going to waste my energy trying to do that. But what I'm going to do is try to make it right for the people that's here with me that I can help, for teaching our children how to be respectful to one another. And then, as the gentleman said before, we demand that respect. Nobody's going to disrespect you unless you allow them to disrespect you. So again, I cannot say it enough. If we can just work together to learn to respect each other first and build each other first, then maybe as a race, we can approach somebody else and say, hey, listen, we're not going to accept this disrespect anymore. We're working together, respecting one another, uplifting one another in our community. Because ultimately, y'all know, they ain't going to never do it. Okay. This conversation will be taking place when my grandchildren is on this call.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So there's no need for them to change it. Why would they change it? They'll just hear us complain and fuss and, you know what I mean, make a little noise. But like anything, you got to fix the root, the inside, yourself.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. And that's good. And see, a lot of people, what you just said, there's going to be some people that's going to agree with you, and there's going to be some people that's going to absolutely disagree with what you just said. It depends on who they are, their stance in life, and their life experiences. So let me do this. Let me go to Donna Tucson. Donna, what's on your heart, brother? Donna, I'm about to say it to you.
I got it. Yeah, I know you are.
Okay.
No, I don't ask nobody for nothing. And I try to give everybody what's due to their respect. Okay. Let me use this for example. When I first started this job, they would knock on the door on their way in. And so I said, hold up, man. So now what I do is I just lock the door. Just lock. So you can't just barge in on me, period.
Yeah.
And the same scenario I use with life. You're not going to just barge in on me. I hear what you're saying. I respect what you're saying. But that don't have anything to do with me. Nothing. Your opinions may be right or wrong. I may agree or disagree. But that don't have anything to do with me. I'm gonna get my respect that I want from anybody. I don't care if you're pink, purple. You're gonna give me mine. Period. And that's not because I wake up as a brown-skinned man. Because I wake up as a man. That's it.
That's good.
You could say, well, okay, somebody may say, well, do this or do this based on this that I've read, whether it's scripture or history. Who you are is really, I understand, but it's not in a book. It's in your heart. It's in your head. I'm not too bright, but I try not to just be stupid. I'm not dictated by anybody, not even your thoughts or your ways, because I re-enter into a slave mentality, doing what you say. You got to be kidding me. I'm just saying.
Rico,
we're not in a box.
Exactly. Let me go to Rico for a second. Rico, why don't we as Black people, why don't we get it? And Pete, coming to you next, brother. Why don't we get it, man?
Man, we got generations and centuries of miseducation and embracing values that don't benefit us. Conforming to injustice society. You know, I mean, we have there's a domino effect to everything that happened from the past. Our grandparents, mothers and fathers instilled in us certain things that they had to learn to behave a certain way to survive. They instilled it in us. Whether it was wrong, whether the education was misguided or just out of place, that's what they learned. And so we pass it down to trauma. The trauma that our grandparents told us about that they experienced as children, we might not have experienced that. But at the same time, they push that down to us. Those experiences, we call them trauma. We could call it history. Their experiences, you know what I'm saying, it was passed down. Everything was passed down to us. So now it's hard for us to get out of that cycle because we haven't had the access or the exposure to a healthy dose of information or education. We had to conform. Some people had to bow down and just accept it. That's just how it is. You know, and then so you have those that rebel. You had your Nat Turners and those in the past that rebel. You know, and I hear the comments that people are making about how this disrespect and stuff never held them back. But and it never held me back. My choices and how I chose to respond to racism and being disrespected as a Black man, my response is determined. Hold up, bro. My response is determined what the outcome was going to be on my end. But I can't always keep coming back to me because it affected Emmett Till. It affected Philando Castile. They don't have a chance to make a decision to do better. Somebody else made that decision for them. So I try not to always go back to how it affected me. I don't respond that way. I don't respond that way. I don't act like this. Racism ain't never affected me, or maybe it didn't, but it affected Emmett Till. It affected Medgar Evers. We see the results. That could have been you, even though you felt like, how many people, I know plenty of people probably running around here thought racism didn't exist. Racism don't bother me. And the minute they get that knee on their neck, it affected them. It affected them forever. In the biggest way, the biggest loss, they suffered it. I didn't suffer a loss behind some of the stuff I went through. What about some of the people that had to sue for racial discrimination in court and knew they were discriminated against, but they just didn't have the flat out proof to win their court case? So this company that's been using these racist practices won again. What about just mercy? The people that's exonerated and getting out of prison for crime they didn't commit. They probably didn't believe racism is it. Well, I ain't gonna let it affect me. I'm gonna just keep on being strong and keep on doing what I do. And I ain't gonna let it determine how I'm gonna act. Yeah, but when you're butt in jail, looking at the death penalty, that don't mean nothing because that's still that demon, that devil that created this system that he intended to hold you back in,
shows you how it can go. I go back to Charlottesville. Those people that got killed and ran over, they felt comfortable. They probably felt like they were safe. But then you saw what the other outcome was. So we can't just always speak from our experiences, because some people have took the biggest losses due to that devil on the other side that has been generationally disrespecting the black man.
Good deal. I'm about to go to a 1-2 punch right now. I'm gonna go to Brother Pete, then after Brother Pete, I'm going to Leonard. So, Brother Pete, what's on your heart? Leonard, be on standby, brother.
When you go all the way back into history, you talk about the Hebrews and the Jews. When you go back to Kemet, call it Egypt. We go back to the Songhai, Mali dynasties. And when we encounter these other people and they overcome you, all through that domination is a form of disrespect. And it's meant to beat you down and denigrate you and give you a low form and value concept of yourself. And it comes all the way up into bringing people in the country in chains as property. That's extremely disrespectful. To say that they don't feel pain and you brand them like an animal. You cut off arms and legs and different things, whip them with tearing flesh up until you see the white meat and you saw they don't feel pain. That's disrespect. When you don't want to educate them at all, disrespect. When it's time for them to get an education and you purposely steer them in the road where you don't want to be a doctor, you want to be a carpenter, or you don't want to be a lawyer, you want to be a blacksmith. Disrespect. When you don't teach them allow them to learn to keep their culture, their history, their heritage, their tradition. A lot of the things that we see the young people doing today, the sagging of the pants, the wearing of the hairstyle, it's reaching out for culture. Culture are the things that reinforce to you who you are, back to your root system to strengthen you in your being and all that you are, culture. And here we are, you've been stripped of your culture, and we're doing things to recapture our culture. This election is showing us that these people are, as a group, are coming into another era of awareness, okay? And it's not about us looking at other folks from a point of disrespect or hatred. We're just talking about disrespect. Extreme disrespect in all forms, in all levels, on every hand, at every point. But then I come back and say, no, that does not stop you from being all that you are, all that you can be, all that you can accomplish, all that you can do. In no kind of way does it do that. But the intent and to tolerate, for you to intend to offend and disrespect, and for me to receive that and accept that, does not make sense at all. There's nothing written, said in existence nowhere that says we should accept or tolerate any form of disrespect. And it comes back to us to be intolerable.
Come on.
To disrespect.
Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
You know what's so funny, Raheem, to me?
Yes, sir.
Is that unlike other folks, and I am very much involved in my history. Simply from a education standpoint. I don't need any of it to do what I need to do. I don't need to know about nobody else. All I need to know is you pissing me off. I don't care nothing about your history. I don't care nothing about Black history or nothing else. There ain't nothing about me in my character gonna make me bow my knee to you. I consult with God, not other human beings. So the all of that racism and all of that, I'm the guy, like I said, man, what would I be like if I was a slave? I'd probably be trying to kill them white people every day. They would have to kill me. I wouldn't be able to exist. There's no such thing as me being your slave and me fixing your food and not poisoning you. I don't think any other way than that. The moment that snake reared his head to me, I rear my foot to him. There is no negotiating. For nothing and no one. The moment you think you're going to cause imminent danger to me, I'm going to impose it on you.
I got a question.
Because that's what we do. It was so great to be around my family this weekend who came from out of town because we're like people.
Mm-hmm.
We'll fight you regardless. It don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is kick one of us off. It doesn't take all of that. I love Black history. Teach it, learn it, and do whatever. Now what you gonna do today? So there are things in your history that look just like what's in white folks' history.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go back that far, let me know.
Good. Let me go to Cassandra. I have a question for her. Cassandra, you there? Toya, what does he be on standby? Come to you next. Far too often I hear people say, and Leonard just touched on a little bit as well. I could not have been a slave during that time. I could not have been a slave during that time. What is it about the generation now that feel as though they're so much stronger than the generation that was back then that endured that whole situation?
I don't think we're stronger. I think they were strong because they survived. They were able to survive under the most barbaric of situations and circumstances that any human being could face. Imagine seeing your husband or your wife beaten and whipped while you stand there and not be able to move. Imagine seeing your woman raped in front of your eyes by the overseer. Listen, they needed to survive, and they did what it took to survive. I'm like Leonard. I believe that we're all born when we're supposed to be born, because I'm like him. They would cut off my toes first, then they would cut off one foot. Then I would still be trying to go. They would have to cut off the other dang foot. Now, we know, you know who you are right now. I'm not saying if I was, for some reason, born back then, that I would not have endured it. I don't think I could have endured it, actually. So they're stronger than we are. They're stronger. You understand? And even when they ran, think about it. Their lives, they would see each other butchered, lynched, right in front of their eyes to be an example to others, burned, whatever it was. But they tried to run anyhow. I don't know. We're not as strong as they were. I really don't believe that, because if so, we would be fighting harder for our. We are being spat on in this country right now, and most Black people ain't even doing that, and they think it's all good and we just business as usual. It's not business as usual, everybody. Please listen to me. This is not business as usual. Get that in your head.
Exactly.
And also, Raheem, where people seem to miss, and this is what is missed from a lot of conversations, which is why, from an educated standpoint, I can go with the best of them. All the theories and things out there related to this issue. Because it's understandable once you think about it. The tolerance level of some people and why they did things. But you have to come outside of yourself and the color of your skin to understand. Because one, there are certain people, Willie Lynch. That crap don't matter unless you're in captivity. Things that apply in captivity don't apply to free people. That's why they don't feel the same. Because you're not slaves. A lot of things are dependent upon being captive. If you're not captive, it doesn't apply. So first of all, you have to realize, why are you not trying to get out of the cage? Why are you so comfortable in this freaking cage? Why are you so comfortable in chains? Why? Why do you long to recognize this? Why do you long to be a slave?
I'm going to say something, and
study the mentality.
Okay,
study the mentality.
Okay, check this out, Lynn. I'm going to say something right now, and y'all might put me in the corner. Y'all might put me in the corner with this. But I got to say it, because things come to me, and I want to see what it is. And Toya, I'm coming to you next. Actually, I want you to respond to this, Toya. How much of religion And we can go so far as to say Christianity has held us back in bondage, whereas we didn't fight the fight that we should fight. Unmute yourself, Toya. Unmute yourself. Coming to you, Adrian. I see you.
All right. Okay, you hear me now?
Yes.
You know what? From personal experience, I think it's the actual perception of religion, not true Christianity, not true relationship with God. Oftentimes we didn't read that Bible ourselves. They read it to us. They told us what they wanted us to do, just like a manager. When we get things, we don't go read stuff for ourselves. We always talk about what they said, what she said, what he said, what we said. We don't do it for ourselves. And that's what we've done when it comes to Christianity and the Bible. And the only reason why I can say this today is because of my personal experience. When I got history books and Egyptian timelines and everything, because I'm so worldly and thinking about religion, when the Lord started talking to me to verify if that Bible was real and if he can really talk to me through that, I got other things to help me be able to understand and get in tune with him. And when I got in tune with him, his word is his word. I'm not challenging that. It is what it is, no matter what you think, how you feel, whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But still, at the end of the day, the fact that they taught it from there and we didn't go see what God said to me myself. Harriet Tubman said, I don't want to know your education because I can't hear what God trying to say to me listening to your education. Because back then when there wasn't no Bibles, how Abraham know who that was talking to him and what to do? How Noah know who was talking to him and what they do? It wasn't no Bible back then. But even when it came into existence, it was still somebody sitting up there, still a teacher that got some books that everybody else wrote. Somebody else wrote more books now that they came and said, read this book instead of this book, and this book got the truth, not that book. It's all boiled down to that. But we already said earlier, we God's, he in us. He's going to verify whatever we put our hands on. But we cannot be so human-minded to not really understand what God says, regardless of what that book says. That doctor book said I had internal bleeding. It said when I have internal bleeding, I'm supposed to die. It said that because I didn't have insurance, they had to send me home. The word of God was the only thing and one that healed me. Wasn't no human, wasn't no book, wasn't no education, wasn't none of that. So at the end of the day, the perception and what they taught is why we're here. We need to get in contact and tap into what God said, because if he need me to be the Noah or the David to say, yeah, you're right, you're not supposed to murder, but get that slingshot and get them rocks, because they finna come messing with you. They not listening, and you better sling all them rocks at him, knock him down, and chop his head off too. And that's the only thing that I'm waiting on. Is somebody to tell me when to move.
Toya, listen. Toya, just give me a second. Toya, let me tell you what I think people don't realize. In the Bible, God instructed armies to go and take out, and he says, take out everybody. See, we don't ever talk about, we got God is loving, we just need to treat everybody. Yeah, we're supposed to treat everybody right. But it was times when God sent people into war to wipe out everybody. And I'm not saying that's where we are right now, but I'm saying you act like we can't fight because we're Christians. No, Christians have fought throughout history. The Bible was read the Old Testament, please. Every time you turn it around, God was like, okay, I want y'all to go in that land, wipe them all out, take the children out, the dogs, everybody. Come on now, I'm just saying. And the word also says the kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violence taken by force. We cannot just lay back and let people take our rights. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. This suppression, voter suppression thing, this is just the beginning. They're trying to see how far they can go with it and what we're going to take.
Wow, that's good. Adrian, you had something on your heart, brother. What's on your heart? Unmute your line.
Yeah, you know, we're talking about this topic this morning of racism and color. And one of the things I will say, I said in comments over here, is that I feel as Black people, we need to stop selling our culture. Okay. All of a sudden we start wearing a certain hairstyle or a certain clothes or whatever it is. And then other people see it and they come and start marketing it. They get closer. Oh, well, I like your dress. I like your makeup. I like your clothes. So then it becomes commercialized, okay? And we're selling our culture, much as, I'll say it out of Atlanta, Georgia. I was at her funeral. When Miss King passed, all of a sudden the King children went to war against each other, selling off the family Bible, selling this, selling that. Don't you know that when you sell your history to somebody for that fiat, that money, that gold, they have the right to write history how they want to, whether it's the truth or a lie. Before long, after that, Reverend King was running around on his wife. Y'all remember hearing them stories? Before long, Reverend King gonna be a white man. Okay? We as people, when it comes to racism, and like we're saying, and like the sister was just saying, that the book of Chronicles in the Bible, it was about war. First and Second Chronicles, there was about wars and tribes between people, because good and evil do exist, and we have to recognize that that rebellion and that war was led in heaven because of innate evil. Yes, there are innate evil people out there, and people like our, current leadership in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue that spearheads that and plants those type of seeds of hatred in people's hearts. I think about a few years ago, Senator Pickney out of South Carolina, man sitting there in the church having Bible study, minding his own business. You had a young white guy. When your heart is young, you should be able to be tender and be molded. If you 50, 60, or 80, that might be one thing, okay? But that young white guy went in there and sat among those innocent people. And before service, I started shooting people and told one person, oh, I'm going to let you live so you can tell the story of what I did. What is that? What is that when you got Reverend Warnock right down there across from Reverend King's church, and you got Nazi rebel flags laying out there on the ground in front of the New Ebenezer church out there the other year? What is that? That's nothing but pure hate in people's heart for whatever reason. Did they see another man or woman or another culture, and instead of being able to embrace them and love them or mind your own business and build your own self up, you want to come and tear other people down? Really? You put your energy into that, devil? All right, well, guess what? We got something for that. We got a God that outsurpasses all of that. We got a God that can think a thought and can instantly, all of us, instantly gone. So we have to keep that in mind. We are fighting a war, and it's been going on for a long time now. And it's unfortunate that, like y'all was saying, we should be a God. We all should be living in paradise, living it up and having fun every day, thanking God. This is my story and this is my song. Exactly. But you got people that you do have to address that aren't on that same mindset of freedom and peace. When they went to Africa and started stealing people, y'all, them people are probably over there real happy on the plains of Africa. Real happy. Okay? And look at what we got in this world now. I mean, have mercy, Jesus.
Good deal, good deal. Toya, you hold that killer now. Don't let him get too close to the screen. You hold that killer. I see him in your lap.
And this lion, I ain't gonna let this lion loose, y'all, because the world ain't ready for this lion right here, honey. I see him over there. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Give me the question again. The very original question that this is about.
What we got here? Ask the question: why don't we get it? Why don't we get it, man? Why don't we see? I don't think, Rico. I don't think the issue is them. No, I think they know who we are, and that's why they fight so hard against us. That's why they fight so hard to hold us back. I think they know who we are. Why don't we?
You know, when you live in an illusion, you can get blindsided. So when you buy into the Kool-Aid that you've been drinking,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You get blindsided. We keep getting blindsided because we keep buying at face value what the American dream is supposed to be. We keep buying their values. We keep feeling like their schools are the best schools. We feel like their financial system, this paper that they have us killing and murdering each other for, is actually something that we should be valuing. And we are actually trying to conform. Right now, you still hear people talk about some financial literacy. What is financial literacy going to do when the dollar crash? So how about learning how to bond, farm, produce your own, educate, build your culture, and learn how to survive without the material things that we favor and that we cherish so much. You know, I mean, like, I hear it all the time. I'm like, man, you hear 1,000,001 solutions and opinions, and some of them make sense. depending on if you really buying into this system or not. They got us because we bought into this system. The same system that tells us that Africa was uncivilized. The same system that came from the 2 dark ages that had to be civilized by black people. We listen to them tell us about what Africa is and ain't.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? So we done took their culture, we've taken their value system, and then wrapped it around us and said, well, okay, this is the way it's supposed to be. And that's the reason why we don't get it. We ain't gonna get it because when they blindside us, they come back and show us, you know, okay, I'll put it to you this way. Like you asked the question about the church a second ago. Imagine going to a church, listen to a man 100, 200 years ago, preach this good word about justice and righteousness. And then a day later, he done took you and said, come here, gal. That little girl of yours looking real tender now. She started filling out. I think I want to keep her in my house, but you know what you want to keep in the house for.
Yeah.
Come here, boy. Did you speak back to me? Drop them drawers and pull over, bend over. I'm going to do it to you in front of everybody. Imagine hearing the person that preached the word doing these actions. You know, that's totally dysfunctional, contradictory to hear somebody preaching righteousness, but then go back and act like this. So that's traumatizing. You don't know which way to go. These same people that's telling me that I'm supposed to be God-fearing and believing who they believe in, they supposed to be the chosen people. Look how they do us. Well, maybe I'm supposed to do my people like that so I can fit in and be more like them, conforming. That word conforming, that's what our problem is. We'll conform. We'll conform and embrace their value system. We don't understand our history. I love what the sister said earlier about the Neanderthal thing, because the book I read the last book I just finished reading about the Iceman inheritance, it relates the whole aggression in white people back to that, and the contradiction, the history of contradiction. Because they'll do anything to remain in power and keep their hand over everything.
Exactly.
Their privilege. You know, so we don't get it because we're buying into that system. That's the system that we're trying to buy into. It isn't about righteousness. It isn't about equality. Like Adrian said earlier, capitalism was based off of slavery from the very beginning. How can we actually benefit from that? Or feel like, you know, other police slave catchers. Now, if they actually, that was their foundation, why wouldn't that still be the root of their actions to this day? Especially for those white people that researched it and love their heritage and their legacy and know that was the whole purpose of being a cop. Some people want to be a cop now because it was established for them to be slave catchers. So they just gonna be 2020 slave catchers.
Exactly. Let's go. I'm going in this order. Goddess, Cassandra, then Leonard.
I just want to touch base on what my sister said, you know, and my brother said, when I look at my history, I overpass the slavery part. I kind of part, and I go all the way back to the kings and queens of where we really stayed from, because throughout history, that's what they've ever tried to show us is that we are slaves. Any movie that you watch, the last big movie that they made that was really huge was about a black king was Shaka Zulu. Today, Shaka Zulu, that was one of the biggest, that was over 35 years ago, where they showed how strong this black man was. Hollywood made the highly successful series 35 years ago. Shaka Zulu was, and it was with a petty budget. And it was one of the biggest films that came out. And with it, it said all the black men, the strong black, the richest black men. When I look at myself and I look at history, and that's one of the things they fail to realize, that we fail to teach our own, again, is I don't look back and I hear what he said, Leonard said about history doesn't really make it who. Well, history does kind of change your mindset, especially for our youth, because when, you know, they say somebody's always putting you down or someone, No, we have to. The white man is never. They do build certain things. I say when they do build certain walls up to keep us down, but we have managed to always climb over those walls.
Mm-hmm.
Redlining is one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can name them all, but until we start uniting together, but I know that everybody is not going to be awoke. Everybody's not going to be part, like Harriet, them if they would have known that they were slaves. Everybody's not going to be awoke. Mm-hmm. Everybody's not going to be in that mindset. And my thing is, everybody that I'm sitting here talking to, y'all fail to realize this ain't back in the day. They still hanging our kids. They still doing this. We just talked to Tawanda today. And I sit up and I work with Tawanda and I bring some certain things to her attention. Mm-hmm. I know me, Leonard, and Peter Brown that work together, and we've seen the real reality that's going on here in America. Slavery really ain't changed. I mean, it's no different. Still in 2020, we are still going through slavery issues. I'm not saying that we're chain bound and everything, but we still are not completely. Until we remove that Social Security number, until we it's just certain things that it takes more than a radio conversation and talk about it. But in order to be free, we're gonna have to start uniting together, start studying. It always go back to knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's just the key factor right there. Mm-hmm. But we have got to start studying and uniting. And these people out here, what might not affect you might affect the next person, because I live in Kansas City, but person live in Mississippi, where they barely crossing, they still got sundown towns there. Mm-hmm. And that's real. Certain parts of California still got sundown towns. That's real. Mm-hmm. I just got to listening to Dr. Africa. They burnt 2 rows of houses in Philadelphia. That wasn't just not too long ago. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we still going through slavery. I mean, and I heard one of my brothers speak about Emmett Till. Well, we still got another young boy that was looking just as bad as Emmett Till.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we definitely sometime before the week is out, I want to have a conversation based on that. I want to do another special show where we can address that situation. And y'all let me know if y'all want to be a part of it, because I definitely want to discuss that, because people need to know. People definitely need to know. Let me go on. Cassandra, you up next. What's on your heart? Cassandra? Oh, I think we might have lost Cassandra. Okay, we might have lost Cassandra. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh man, I'm really listening to hear the various different perspectives, because we all share a common feeling about certain things. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I'm always on.
Coming back to you, because
I'm always on the forward side. Mm-hmm. I'm always on the front of the matter, and nothing about me is going backward. Mm-hmm. So somebody gonna have to pick up folks in the rear. I've been studying too long. I've been raised this way to go back to hold hands with children. Catch up. We moving forward regardless. Mm-hmm. It's time out for the pity game, the woe game. If you can't take it, you don't deserve it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Power is like that. It's not given, it's taken. So you can have this pretty picture in your head about paradise all you want. What would you think? Somebody gonna give it to you?
No.
Is that what you think? You're gonna die and you're gonna go to heaven and everything gonna be all right? Is that what you think? What if you get to live 90 years? Mm-hmm. You still waiting? You still waiting? Does it make sense? Does that make any sense to you?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
When you should be fighting.
Mm-hmm.
When you should be fighting every day. It's like that because you chose to do something else. This notion that your sin came around because white folks came around needs to be erased from your brain. You just as simple and wretched as they are. The Bible tells you so.
Exactly.
The Bible tells you all this. So we have to first of all figure out what it is that you want to do. What do you want to do? If you'd rather not be the author of your own life and make your own choices, then don't. Someone else will do that for you. That's your option.
Exactly. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart, sister? We got a lot. We're going to get out of here in just a few minutes. We started late, so we're running over just a little bit, man. And the conversation is so good. Conversation is real good. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I totally agree with Leonard. Surprise, huh? But I just, I mean, but I do the things that we have to do for change. I go to the meetings at City Council. Right. I go to I meet with groups of people that are trying to get change. I work with the voters. The group that Stacey Abrams had, I go and I march. Cause that's a part of what I do. I'm an activist, so I do that as well. So there are things that I don't just sit, or when I get on here and I'm talking about stuff, I'm not just talking.
Exactly.
I am actively doing something to help bring about the change, and that's what we have to do. Listen. We can start all of the investment groups. I totally think we need to do whatever you think you need to do. But if you are living in a country where your money means absolutely nothing to them, I didn't say anything. Your money means nothing to them. You are still a Negro in their eyes with $1 billion, with 500 million. It does not matter. So we have to change the rules, the laws, how things are run in order for us to make any changes in this country.
Good deal.
Bottom line.
There you go, Rico. Talk to me, brother. I see you over there.
Hey, let me get some of that right there, man. Let me get some of that. See, that's what happens when you are unaware. Remember earlier I said that we have a epidemic of people living in an illusion. They have conformed and they value these things that they think we should value, when really and truly things are bad for us. I can remember a few years ago having conversations with younger cousins and younger black men, and they were calling me old fashioned. Man, y'all stuck on that racism stuff. These white boys these days different. They ain't about that racism stuff. They're about getting money. They cool. They want to be black. They like rappers and this and that. Then Dylan Roof happened. Then they got grown and they start seeing how favor and privilege works. They start seeing how police can treat you indifferently. They start experiencing things. I'm like, oh, but see, guess what? They were living in an illusion and they were unaware. And if you are unaware that you need to be prepared for this atmosphere that exists, then you're gonna continue to keep on walking in the dark. That's what's happening. You ain't gonna know you need to fight if racism don't exist no more. Ain't no president white boys no more. They don't even think like that no more, man. That's y'all old folk thinking like that. So now they out here, they ain't realizing that they got to keep their head on the swivel. That they got to be aware of the potential of somebody getting a promotion just because they buddy, or because they don't normally have black supervisors at this job. That's the reason why it's so hard for you to get a promotion. No matter what you do and how much work, no matter how much you accomplish, you still can't get this promotion. Oh, you got a write-up this time. You didn't get a good evaluation this time. You get what I'm saying? So us being unaware has us in a situation, us being uneducated about the true atmosphere, the true nature of this existence of this country, has us in a situation that has blinded us. It's like centuries of blindness. Blindness on top of blindness on top of blindness on top of traveling down the wrong road. You know, so it gets to a point where we do have to reach back to a certain extent. I'm like Leonard too. I like to move forward. I get aggravated bringing up the same thing, talk about the solutions and stuff to people that are uninformed. But at the same time, we do have to understand that many a great percentage of us have drank the Kool-Aid. They have bought into the American dream, and they want that house and that picket fence, and they want the finer things, and they don't understand really and truly the nature of the beast. And it's up to us to reach back. You know, the newborn, the 5-year-old and the 6-year-old and the 8-year-old, they need to know what this atmosphere is. They just can't come up with this perception that, hey man, I'm American and we the best country on the planet, and the sky's the limit. The world is mine. I remember Shaq, the world is mine. Cliches. Man, come on, the world is not yours, man. You could be worth $1 billion. And like I said, once that racist police officer that didn't take the racism didn't leave when he put that uniform on, catch you by yourself and put a knee on your neck, that $1 billion ain't gonna help you. Just gonna be a rich dead nigga.
Exactly. Point blank, period. Donald Toussaint, we better get out of here, brother. What's on your heart?
Bye.
Donald said bye.
I want to ask Pete something and Leonard something.
Okay. Pete actually left us. Pete had to take off. Hopefully he'll call back in.
Well, Leonard's still here.
Yeah, Leonard's still here.
Still here too.
Yeah,
so the rest of us here, and Rico's still here too.
Yes.
When you find a strong brown-skinned black man, why I'm going to I might go in the corner, I might still be out. Why did they cut their balls out?
Say that one more time? Why they cut what now?
His balls out.
I thought that's what you said. They're Toussaint. I thought they don't want. I think actually Pete just called back in. But my thing is, if he's a strong black individual and he have everything that it takes to combat or go against the structure that they have in place, why would they want him to reproduce somebody else that may have the same characteristics that he have, that same knowledge and that same strength that he have? Why would they allow him to pour what's in his cup into someone else's cup and multiply the cup more than once? Why would they want that to happen? And in order for them to stop doing that, if they castrate him, cut it off, and not allow him to reproduce, then hopefully what's in him would die with him. Pete, come on, man. Am I off base? Help me out.
Self-determination. That's the issue. It's self-determination. We have to understand that when we walk out of the house, we're walking into a world. The world is a very unjust, cruel place. A classroom full of 2-year-olds and you have a deformity, they're gonna show you no mercy. We have to be self-determined and have a strong sense of self-determination. Have a warrior mentality. Listen, go out and get it, take it. Whatever you can do, whatever you're able to bring about through your ability, through your knowledge, it's there for you. And it's there for the taking, not the asking. It's not about conforming and sitting down, going along. I'm not going along to get along.
Come on.
I'm not doing it. So either we're going to have civility, but we can meet at the table and have a conversation and agree to disagree, but do it, agreeably, right? Cordially. Oh man, I'm coming in the door. I'm kicking the hinges off the door, off the hinges. I'm flipping the table over, and I might beat you over the head with the chair.
Come on.
I'm not having it. And that's the kind of mentality that we have to have. We can be aware of the obstacles, but they're just obstacles. When you're taking your driver's course, they have obstacles. What do? You maneuver around the obstacles. That's all. It's about self-determination and being determined. The roster has a chant. Chant, Babby, wrong down. Chant, Babby, wrong down. So we always talk about how we have to have a high moral compass. We have to understand ethics and operate and execute in ethics, high ethics and principles. The world doesn't function like that, but we must, and we hold to that.
Exactly.
And any and everything that is against what is good, wholesome, and right, I'm talking about destroy it, run it over, tread it till it don't exist no more, yield no ground, take the ground, secure the ground, build on the ground, and advance. Yield nothing.
Exactly. Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, man? Real quickly, we got to get out of here. What's on your heart, Leonard?
Same thing Pete said. Same thing Pete said. Next.
Ditto. Cassandra.
Yeah.
What's on your heart, sister? We're ready to get on out of here.
Oh no, man, that brother done. Listen. We had already baked the cake and put some layers up on there, and that brother just put the icing on. Ain't nothing else to add to that.
There you go.
It's good.
It's a done deal. Rico?
Same thing, man. I agree, man. We got to move, man. We got to do it righteously. We got to do it with a high moral compass. And anything that's against that, you got to fight it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Toya with the T, she's been blank screen for a minute. I think she doing something over there. I wanted to go to her before we get out of here. Toya with the T, you still with us? Toya with the T. Okay. She's still with us, but I think she got something going on in outside of the broadcast right now. So she had to step away. But let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what is going on today, brother? At 3:00 today, what's going on?
If you did not get a chance to hear this show from in its entirety, log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3:00 Eastern today.
Good deal. Now let me see who I'm gonna go to the prayers out this morning. See, Cassandra think I'm gonna come to her, but I ain't gonna do it to her this morning. Rico, he over there shaking now. Rico, I ain't gonna do you like that, brother. I ain't gonna do you like that. I see you over there shaking. Let me go to Let me see here. Goddess.
Yes.
Will you pray us out?
Yes. Dear Heavenly Father, God above, God within. Lord, thank you for us uniting together. Thank you for informing us on each and every one's thought process and coming together as being unified as you would like us to be. Through you and only you that we can grow and achieve. Lord, thank you and keep us safe as we go on this journey that you want us to go on. And as we go through this journey. In God's name, I pray.
Amen. Good deal. We're about out of here for today. We started a little late. I overslept today. I got to take full blame. I overslept this morning, and that pillow wouldn't let me go. But like I said, I think we had a great broadcast, man. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK Media Group and associates to be a part of your morning. Rico, anything on your heart before we get out of here, brother?
Oh man, this is great. Short show, but it's good. You need to set that alarm, man.
I know. Hey, I don't know what happened, man. Hey, Garcia, you need to sleep a little longer. I needed that rest. But yeah, man, I think we had a great show, man. Y'all share this broadcast if y'all don't mind doing so. Share the broadcast, man. Start a watch party or however y'all want to do it. But I think people need to hear the conversation, the dialogue that we had today. I think they really need to hear that. But now it is now 10:35. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You all have a great day. Love you, and go out there, find somebody, and give them some love. You just might find some love in return. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? Y'all have a great day.